The battle over the abortion pill Mifepristone, the Supreme Court weighing in, allowing access for now and avoiding major changes that were set to take effect overnight. ABC's Maria Villarreal has the latest developments. Maria, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Whit. Abortion rights advocates are breathing a sigh of relief right now, but they tell me this is not a win. This is a temporary pause, and they know that the clock is still ticking on the future of Mifepristone.
We need change, and we need it now.
Emotions running high this morning.
And bring signs, bring banners, bring yourself back here.
As the fierce debate over the future of abortion plays out nationwide, the Supreme Court stepping in. Justice Samuel Alito issuing an administrative stay of the ruling in Texas that would overturn the FDA's original approval of the abortion medication Mifepristone. That would essentially take the pill off the market, now giving the court until April 20th to review the case before deciding what their next steps will be. In a statement, the White House saying that the stakes could not be higher and that for now, Mifepristone remains available and approved for safe and effective use.
It's good news for the patients that are going to be seen tomorrow, but it is far from over.
The last-minute weigh-in from the nation's highest court bringing a temporary sigh of relief for abortion rights advocates after conflicting rulings in Washington state and Texas have left the use of the drug nationwide up in the air.
We were talking to doctors around the country, and there was just mass confusion and chaos.
Attorney Eric Baptiste with the anti-abortion rights group Alliance Defending Freedom represents 4 doctors and 4 medical associations from the original Texas case.
And we're confident again that when the courts, with any court, looks at the facts and the law of this case, they're going to agree with us. So this is just the next step in a long, lengthy litigation.
The uncertainty trickling down to facilities that offer abortion services, like the Lilith Clinic in Portland, Oregon, which has seen an influx of out-of-state patients since last spring.
It's been a huge impact to have our work criminalized, basically, and not allow us to provide the care for the patient in front of us that we know that's best for them and they know that's best for them.
We've spoken with several clinics, and they tell us right now in states where abortion is still legal, patients can be seen in 1 to 2 weeks. But with the future of Mifepristone still hanging in the balance, they are very concerned that if it gets taken off the market, they may see an uptick in surgical procedures. Guys?
And we know that is not just the case there, Maria. Thank you so much. Now let's bring in ABC Supreme Court contributor Kate Shaw. Kate, as we've been reporting, the Supreme Court issued a temporary stay of the Texas judge's order overnight. But tell us in practical terms what this means and what happens next.
Sure thing. So it's just 1 week ago that the Texas District Court judge issued this ruling that, if it were allowed to go into effect, would essentially eliminate access to Mifepristone in every state, including states in which abortion is legal and protected. In the interim, a federal appeals court in Texas affirmed in large part what that district court had done, and the opinion essentially blocking Mifepristone was set to go into effect at midnight last night. But just before that deadline, the Supreme Court, acting through a single justice, Justice Alito, issued what's called a temporary administrative stay, which is just a few days of delay to give the justices a chance to consider the filings of the parties. So for now, that lower court order remains on hold while the justices consider the filings. And I should say it's both the FDA and the drug manufacturer that asked for this stay. And both of those sets of papers really underscore the stakes. You know, not just access to the most commonly used medication in terminating early pregnancies, Mifepristone, but actually, the FDA's drug approval process more broadly. This manufacturer says at issue here is federal judges second-guessing the scientific judgment of the experts at the FDA. And if that were allowed to stand, it would sow chaos, again, as to this drug, but also more broadly.
And so it's a win, at least in the short term, for the FDA and drug manufacturers. But what is going to be the impact of this latest ruling going forward, and what happens after Wednesday?
Well, short-term Mifepristone remains available everywhere it is available. And we should say, in states that protect abortion, Mifepristone is commonly prescribed and used. And even in states that have restrictions or even prohibitions on abortion, actually this medication is used in miscarriage management. So it has lawful uses even in states that restrict or prohibit abortion. In terms of next steps, the papers will be filed in the next couple of days, and the justices could rule just on the papers that the district court was incorrect, and the justices could restore in a more permanent way access to mifepristone. They could send the case back to the lower courts for another look, or they could schedule a special argument session in May. It would be unusual, but possible for the justices to do that. But, either way, when the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade last June, it said the Supreme Court is getting out of the business of setting nationwide abortion policy. This is now for the states to decide. And we see, I think, the court is right back sort of in the spotlight. And in some ways, whatever the court does here, it's going to be having a huge impact on abortion law and policy nationwide.
A huge impact for sure, though uncertain what will happen. Kate Shaw, we appreciate your input this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.